Hi friends, it's Julius here with you, and it's Arts and Crafts Day today. We will be making an embroidered glamour clutch bag. This is perfect for beginners and only requires few materials. This bag measures 10.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Perfect for storing your essential day-to-day items. Whether it be your makeup, your mobile phone, your wallet, or even your toiletries when traveling. The best feature of this bag, I would say, is the embroidered front. Everybody will think it's from a designer brand. And probably the easiest sewing project I can teach you. So to get started, let's go through the materials we will need for this project. Canvas fabric, about half a meter will do. This is a great material to work with bags, totes, clutches, as well as upholstery. A lining fabric, cotton is best to use for bag linings. A tearaway stabilizer fabric for embroidering. This is the most commonly used stabilizer in my sewing room. A long regular zipper. We will cut this down to the size we need, but you can also work with a shorter length zipper. Some pattern making supplies such as a piece of paper, a pencil, and a ruler. Fabric and paper scissors, you don't want to mix those two. A marking pen, and clips for holding the pieces together. We will also embroider onto our fabric, so we will need the embroidery carriage, the embroidery frame with the guide, as well as the embroidery foot, some embroidery threads, and an embroidery needle. Making this bag is very easy, but first, let's create a simple pattern. Using a piece of pattern paper, draw a rectangle measuring 9 by 11 inches. You may increase or decrease the size of the pattern based on your preference. Just ensure that you have enough zipper length to accommodate the length of the bag. Then cut the pattern piece. This will serve as the pattern piece for both the lining and the main fabric. Next step is to embroider the main fabric. To do this, we will first prepare the main fabric by transferring the dimensions of the rectangle. Place the pattern piece on top of the main fabric, which is the canvas fabric, and draw the outline of the rectangle using a marking pen or a pencil. Once done, we will need to find the center of the rectangle by drawing 2 diagonal lines across from all corners. This will serve as the center of our embroidery design. Place the embroidery frame on top of the fabric and cut the excess, just enough to be able to frame the fabric in place. Then frame the fabric to be embroidered. Select a design, adjust the size, and start embroidering. Embroidering a large design can really bring out the quality of embroidery of the NV2700. This design that I'm embroidering just perfectly fits the dimensions of the bag I'm making. It would also be advisable to keep a wide selection of embroidery colors so that you get the actual look of the embroidery. Once embroidering is done, we will then cut the embroidered fabric along the marked lines. Additionally, we will cut another piece from the canvas fabric and 2 pieces from the lining fabric using the same pattern. The next step is to sew all the pieces together to create the bag. Begin by placing the zipper face down onto the right side of one of the main fabric. Position the zipper so that the edge is aligned with the edge of the fabric. Use sewing clips to hold the zipper in place. Sew the zipper using 1/4 of an inch seam allowance with a regular straight stitch. Repeat the process by placing the zipper on top of the other main fabric piece just like so, and ensure that both edges of the fabric are aligned. Use sewing clips to hold the zipper in place and sew 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. Next is to sew the lining pieces. With the wrong side of the zipper facing up, place one lining fabric aligning the edges like so. The lining should cover the entire back of the zipper. Also, ensure that all fabric pieces are aligned with each other. Sew the lining down using 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Repeat the same process by moving the first lining piece away from the zipper and placing the same lining fabric like so. Use clips to secure and sew once again using 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. Once done, we will then proceed in closing off the bag. Open up the pieces with one lining and one main fabric on each side of the zipper like so. Then open up the zipper halfway through, as this will ensure that we will be able to turn the bag inside out once sewing is done. Then pull the pieces by joining lining to lining and main fabric to main fabric like so. Align all edges and use sewing clips to secure everything in place. All of the edges will be sewn except for a few inches from the lining side, as this will help us in turning the bag inside out. Sew the entire bag using 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. It is important to slow down when sewing the zipper part to avoid breaking the needle, and leaving 4 to 5 inches unsewn on the lining. Continue sewing around the perimeter of the entire rectangle. Once done, we can then cut the excess zipper from both ends. Turn the bag inside out through the gap on the lining. Poke out the ends to ensure a pointed corner. And the last step is to sew the lining fabric closed. Take the lining out of the bag and fold the excess fabric towards the inside. Use clips to secure it in place and edge stitch the entire opening to close. Put the lining back inside the bag and your bag is done. This is a beginner sewing project as it teaches you basic techniques such as creating a simple pattern, sewing a lining fabric to your project, sewing a regular zipper, as well as letting you explore the embroidering capabilities of your sewing machine. This bag is perfect for storing your basic items or even as a gift to your friends and family members. Also, don't forget that you can customize the size of this bag as it can be smaller or even bigger depending on the zipper you will be using for this project. I hope you learned from this simple and quick sewing project. It's Julius again with you and I will see you on the next one. Happy bag making!